Nay, sure he's not in hell. He's in Arthur's bosom, if ever man went to Arthur's bosom, and made a finer end, and went away, and it had been any Christom child. It parted even just between 12 and 1, even at the turning of the tide. For after I saw him fumble with the sheets, and play with flowers, and smile upon his fingers' ends, I knew there was but one way. For his nose was as sharp as a pen, and he babbled of green fields. How now, Sir John, quoth I, what man? Be of good cheer. So he cried out, God, 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 3 or 4 times. Now I, to comfort him, bid him he should not think of God. I hoped there was no need to trouble himself with any such thoughts yet. So he bade me lay more clothes on his feet. I put my hand into the bed and felt them, and they were as cold as any stone. Then I felt to his knees, and so upward and upward, and all was as cold as any stone.
Sing, O Muse, and help with my oration, not of swords and bucklers and of battle, but of a coward's death by dissipation in bed, with neither dignity nor chattel. Of his descent to hell, then his salvation. Of Sir John Falstaff, that's my poem's prattle. So sing, I pray, a song jocose and droll, of one divinely unrepentant soul.
I need my muse, and that's how I entreat her. Take heed, you would-be bards, this method works. My muse is humming now, and so's her meter, and she's a stickler for her fees and perks. It takes a fair supply of funds to feed her. What's more, she soon deserts, insolvent jerks. I must have cash. I won't waste time or bore you, and that is why I place my hat before you. Oh, I can see you are stingy and hard-hearted, and I am not the slightest bit surprised. A fool and cash are not easily parted, but don't cringe like I'd have you circumcised, or scowl at me as if I'd loudly farted. This is a good investment, be advised. You won't get poems like mine by asking Santa, much less subscribing to a rag like Granta. Now here is just a sampling of my themes. However did the universe begin? Is it real or just the stuff of dreams? Will it end someday? And if so, when? Is there a living God who creates and schemes? If not, what makes religions with a pin? Is mortal life a thing we can have fun with, or should we kill ourselves and get it done with? Has evolution got some rhyme or reason, or is it just a random game of chance? Has humankind been fallen since Eve's treason? If so, can we get up again and dance? Is this a vale of tears for just a season? Can we improve the human circumstance? Or is utopia a foolish dream which has at long, long last run out of steam?
And oh, that's just the little dinky stuff. I've got my eye on even bigger issues. This is no piece of literary fluff. To me, verse is too fine a thing to misuse. Of self-reflective crap, we've had enough. I'll leave the poets of our days in tissues. But now I'm wasting words, that much is certain. I'll rant no more. It's time to raise the curtain.
Prince Hal said Falstaff owed his god a death, but think on this a moment now. Who doesn't? To me it's just a worn-out shibboleth.
'Tis common, as a playwright most unpleasant wrote in the time of old Elizabeth. I'd like to digress along these lines, but mustn't. All told, Sir John gave up the ghost quite meekly. I can assure you he didn't die uniquely.
I'm pretty sure you've heard these facts before. They're all in Hostess Quickly's deposition. Jack cried out God some 3 times, maybe 4, and babbled on about an apparition, an awful vision of Babylon's great whore. But then he mumbled something in addition about green fields or pastures, a sylvan calm, referring, no doubt, to the 23rd Psalm.
Miss Quickly caught this reference, I suppose, and on this somewhat scanty evidence, declared that Jack had met his last repose in decent Christian piety, and hence renounced all sin before he could decompose. Her word is now believed. In consequence, few people know that really good old Jack died crying out of women and Spanish sack.
He fumbled with his sheets, Miss Quickly said, and smiled at flowers and his fingers' ends, a trifle feeble-minded, but instead she called it childlike. True, that word extends a certain precious pathos to the dead. A Christian child. Although it condescends, the phrase offends no one. But then again, are children more Christian, really, than aged men?
An uncouth question. Sorry, I'll unask it. All the same, I've never understood this reverence for children. I can't mask it. It makes no sense to me. In likelihood, a man has virtues when he nears his casket that as a babe in arms he never could. For although children seem quite sweet and elfish, do not be fooled. They're really cruel and selfish.
But I blaspheme, and put my soul in peril, for the Lord himself called all infants blessed. So to adulthood we really should forswear all claim, and be like children. This is best, even if you consider children feral, as I'm afraid I do. It's all a test of humility, you see. Become the thing you loathe, if to salvation you would cling. But to renew. We fear to die alone. That's true of every one of us. It's well and good that cherished friends of Falstaff's own were near him when the hour of his death fell. "My feet are cold," he cried out with a moan. Miss Quickly rubbed his toes, trying to dispel the chill. But as she did, his brittle bones frosted her fingers, cold as the coldest stones.